Hello, this is Michelle Brantner, Superintendent of Schools of the Marcellus School District, coming to you as always from my office with a little update on the capital project. So today's update will be short, and the end of it I'll basically have a series of photos just for you to see how things are progressing. So in general, I can let you know that we are continuing to be on track. Things are progressing nicely with the work that I've been describing over the past few months. Coral Room addition brick is nearing completion, and fairly soon we hope that the roof will be on and we'll be able to begin all of that inside work. We are still waiting for a couple of pieces necessary to complete that particular aspect of the work. In addition, in the last video update, I mentioned some information about an upcoming move for the current 7th and 8th graders into a different area of the building. And I talked about the fact that our target was hopefully prior to February break so that abatement could happen over February break. I just had a meeting this morning and it looks like there may be some adjustment to that plan. We do believe that the move will still happen in February. We do need to do a little bit more checking to see if it's feasible to have everyone moved prior to the break so that abatement could occur. If it can't occur over February break, we'll have to do that abatement work over April. And again, this shouldn't impact the overall timeline for the project. It'll just be a shift of what work is being done when. So I should have more information, I would say around mid-November. We'll have a much better sense of how progress is going out in the area that's currently being renovated. And that will give me a good idea of whether or not it's feasible to have some of those moves happen a little bit earlier. So look for an update soon. In addition, talking a little bit about the next project that I've been mentioning to you that we're working on. This is the project where we will need to do turf replacement, all of the HVAC mechanicals in the old part of DMS, and the drainage work that's continuing to cause flooding a couple of times a year at least in the DMS basement. Of course, there are instructional spaces down there, so this is an ongoing concern for us. So that project is progressing in terms of putting out an RFP for architectural construction management / clerk of the works services. That RFP went out last week, and we did do a brief discussion with the board about a possible timeline to have this project moving forward, looking to target, I think as I mentioned previously, a vote on that project in hopefully November of 2018. And we know that at the November 13th board meeting, we'll be discussing again just to finalize the process for selection of the architect and CM / clerk of the works. So that's a little update on that project. In addition, I hope that you will enjoy a little photo slideshow coming up of some of the work that's happening, that's continuing to go on out in the areas being renovated. So as always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back in the next 2 or 3 weeks with an update on the move and an update on progress. Have a good day.